I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city and Also Asked is the only tool to access live People Also Ask data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
Hello. If I seem nervous, it's not because of the talk itself. It's because since I landed in the UK yesterday, I've been getting massive nosebleeds. So I apologize in advance if that happens. I'll be in the back, passing out. Send a medic. It's all I can think about. So yes, I'm Madeleine Lambert. I'm the Director of Marketing and Sales at Originality. I'm from Canada, and I get nosebleeds. So yeah, this is a perfectly complimentary talk, good follow-up talk to the Ahrefs talk. So I'm super excited to dive into this. So basically, over the last several months, this isn't the updated one, but that's okay. I'm going to work with it. So over the last several months, I've had a steady stream of panicked SEOs, marketers, and content creators all asking the same thing over and over again. And honestly, even at this conference, the one in San Diego, the one here, there still seems to be a lot of confusion about it. So before we dive in, I want to get a pulse of the room. Raise your hand if your site took a hit last year in the March 2024 Google update. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about. Quite a few of you. You're certainly not alone. And one of the biggest questions I've heard, especially in the last few months, is how is Google really treating AI content? Can Google detect it? If so, does it penalize it? And what does it mean for SEO and content marketing strategies moving forward? Now, this question has real implications, obviously, for ranking, traffic, and the future of content creation for search. So today, I'm going to share a couple of findings from a series of studies that we conducted to answer this exact question. So first, we'll break down whether Google can spot AI-generated content, and more importantly, whether sites using AI-generated content are seeing an increase in penalties. So let's dive in. In March 2024, Google rolled out a major update with a clear goal. So to crack down on manipulative SEO tactics and low quality content. It was announced on March 5th, and the update introduced a new manual action penalty that promised to reduce unhelpful content or spammy content by 40%. Now, there were three main types of abuse that Google targeted with this update, and I'll walk you through them one by one. And if you feel personally attacked by this, you're certainly not alone. Most of us in SEO have at least dabbled in a few of these tactics before. At least I certainly have. So there were three main types of abuse that Google attempted to address in this. So one, scaled content abuse. So this referred to the mass publication of low quality content at scale. So Google's goal was to reduce the volume of unoriginal, thin or unhelpful content flooding search results. So content that added little value to users and degraded the quality of the SERPs. This effort was part of their broader aim to promote useful, trustworthy content over pages designed primarily to manipulate search rankings. The second goal was to go after expired domain abuse. So Google also cracked down on practices of repurposing expired domains purely for ranking advantage. So these domains often came with an existing backlink profile, which made them attractive for manipulating search. The update aimed to ensure that domain history wasn't being exploited for to surface low value or like unrelated content. The third thing that they want to crack down on was site reputation abuse. So Google addressed what's known as site reputation abuse or parasite SEO when otherwise reputable websites. I think there was like a big scandal last year with what was it? Sports Illustrated was doing this. And so basically they would host third-party content that doesn't align with their purpose or quality standards. And so this tactic involved leveraging a trusted high-authority domain to publish low-value or promotional content. And the update introduced enforcement measures to try to curb this behavior. So I think we can all agree that this is these are good things to try to curb. Like it's sort of black hat SEO tactics, and they were cracking down on that. So in summary, March 2024 update focused on restoring content quality and user trust in search results. And they just wanted to reduce manipulative tactics regardless of the tools used, and wanted to promote authentic, helpful, relevant content instead. That's a great goal. Okay, so we conducted a couple of studies to understand, one, what sites were impacted by the March update, and two, did AI-generated content play a major role in that? So in our first study, we set out to identify websites that had received a manual action during the March 2024 update. Specifically, we looked at content sites that had been de-indexed by Google. So sites that had previously enjoyed organic traffic, but suddenly disappeared from search results. The goal was to understand what kind of sites these were, what kind of content they had, and what patterns might have triggered this massive de-indexation of these sites. So we started with a pool of just over 79,000 websites. And for each site, we checked whether it was currently indexed in Google. If the site was no longer indexed, we used Ahrefs or similar web to verify if it had organic traffic as recently as February 2024. And for the sites that met this criteria, so recent organic traffic, but now de-indexed, we concluded that they were likely affected by the March 5th manual action update. So we found that just over 1,400 websites, so about 2% of the sites that we checked had a manual action applied to them out of the 79,000 websites that we checked in March 2024. Okay, so here we can see a histogram of Ahrefs domain ratings for the sites with manual actions. You can see that they were typically low domain rating sites, so they didn't have very strong DRs. And there were definitely some characteristic trends to all of these websites. So they all similarly had SEO, keyword stuffing, low domain authority, listicles, sort of generic blog posts, product reviews and affiliate content, and low quality user aggregation, so parasite SEO tactics. However, there were a few examples of sites that didn't fit that trend. And a few of these sites that we identified had well over 1 million organic traffic visitors per month that went down to 0 pretty much overnight, which I'm sure hurt. So we found that this update was really rough specifically for niche site owners. So I'm sure if you had a friend or if you ran a niche site last year, you would have either been comforted or comforting your bud, because it was sad for them. Anyways, so while study number 1 identified which websites were affected by Google's March 2024 manual update, we wanted to take our analysis one step further and understand why. So using our AI checker, we conducted a more detailed investigation into the prevalence of AI-generated content on these penalized sites. So here is what we found. we found that 100% of the websites that received a manual action showed clear signs of using AI-generated content articles on their sites. Of the 14 websites that we analyzed in depth, 7 of them had over 90% of their sample articles flagged as AI-generated. So half of the impacted sites seem to have published exclusively AI-generated content. However, this seemed like a very small sample size, so we wanted more data. So what we did was we identified 200 sites that with the most traffic that were de-indexed. Then we identified around 200 recent articles per site, and then checked for AI content on over 40,000 URLs using the Originality API. So this gave us like a much larger sample size to work with, and we were then able to analyze the content on over 40,000 websites URLs across 175 sites. And so what we found was that 151 sites of the 175 that we analyzed had very, very clear signs of AI content. Some sites seem to have taken a bit of a mixed approach where they had both AI and human written content that might have been, AI content that may have been human edited, but still showed very high signs or clear signs of AI usage. And then in fact, 51 of the sites, so 30% of the sites were pure AI generated content. So like 100% of their content was AI. So this graph represents the percentage of suspected AI articles on de-indexed sites. So as you can see, quite a large percentage there. So was content AI to blame for sites being de-indexed by Google during that major update? The conclusion that we came up with is yes. After analyzing 200 sites and over 40,000 URLs with our AI checker, it's clear that the vast majority of the sites which received a manual action were likely using AI content on their sites. And so, yeah, basically, as we've seen, Google's recent actions underscore a critical message that they are looking for quality, authenticity, and that matters to them more than ever. While AI-generated content, I think we can all agree, offers incredible efficiency and scalability. It's clear that the over-reliance, especially without maintaining oversight and originality, can lead to significant penalties. So to prevent these risks, content marketers should prioritize the ethical use of AI by using AI as a supporting tool, not as a replacement for human creativity and critical thinking. I think that we can all agree on that. Ensuring that every piece of content adds real value to its audience and aligns with Google quality standards, and investing in rigorous quality control tools to maintain trust and credibility. And I think we can talk about the big elephant in the room, Google. They suck. In classic Google style, their messaging around this update, and especially around how they're treating AI-generated content, has been vague at best and completely contradictory at worst. One day it's, AI can be used if it's helpful, or the next day it's, this update is not about AI, while, entire websites of well-written AI-assisted content goes up in flames. So if there's a Google rep in the crowd here today, please do us all a favor and be a little bit more transparent. People aren't just losing their rankings, they're losing their livelihoods with updates like these. And they have real world consequences, and a lack of clarity is leaving content creators, business owners in the dark, and trying to kind of guess what's next in SEO. We don't need riddles, we need real guidance. So yeah, we have had many awesome ongoing studies that kind of track a number of different ways that the internet is grappling AI content challenges. So if you've enjoyed this, we have a YouTube channel that kind of tracks all of our different studies. Feel free to give it a thumbs up and a follow. And thanks so much for your attention.
Demand sphere. Limitless visual insights from the SERPs. Unlimited dashboards and users. Easy to use and easy to scale your growth to new levels.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.